Hello everyone. This video is the third in a three-part series to demonstrate how to use the CyCon Life Cycle Assessment tool. In this video, we will be conducting a simple social life cycle assessment of a hypothetical public transit system. To start, let's revisit our scenario. This map depicts a residential area where 100 inhabitants work in one of four locations indicated by their color. Each of the green diamonds represents a bus stop in the proposed transit system. Our goal in this assessment is to compare the total commute time of the employees if they drive personal vehicles to work to the commute time of the employees if they take the bus. Let's go over the key assumptions for our scenario. For the personal vehicles, we are assuming that the employees will drive at an average of 35 miles per hour from their house to the place that they work. And we also assume that the cars will drive their route 2 times a day for 260 days. For the bus route, we are assuming that if you include the stops at each bus stop, the bus will have an average speed of 15 miles per hour. We're also assuming that the employees will walk to and from the nearest bus stop with an average speed of 2.5 miles per hour. And finally, the employees will ride the bus 2 times a day for 260 days a year. To calculate the total annual commute time for the employees driving personal vehicles, we first find the total sum of distance traveled by all workers in one trip, measured in miles. Then, to find the amount of time each trip takes, we divide the total distance by 35 miles per hour, represented mathematically as multiplying the distance by 1 hour per 35 miles. Then, we multiply that value by 2 trips per day and 260 days per year to get our total annual commute time for all employees driving personal vehicles measured in hours per year. Calculating the commute time for the bus route is going to be a bit more complicated, since the bus route commute is made up of 2 parts, walking and the bus ride itself. To find the total time spent walking, we take the sum of distance that each employee walks to the nearest bus stop, measured in miles, and multiply that by 1 hour per 2.5 miles. To get the commute time for the bus ride, we will follow a similar process by getting the sum of distance that each employee rides the bus for, and multiply it by 1 hour per 15 miles. Then, we add the walking and bus times to get the hours spent commuting per trip. Multiply that by 2 trips per day and 260 days per year. Now, let's examine how we would use the CyCon Life Cycle Assessment tool to carry out our assessment of this scenario. Like in the previous videos, we have a space to enter in our project name, as well as the goal and scope of our project. Now let's go ahead and create our lifecycle inventory. Click Add Process. We're going to select the car distances data set. Add another process. We're going to select the bus route distances data set. Next, we'll put together our life cycle impact assessment. We'll start by renaming our processes. Now, before we create the formulas for our life cycle impact assessment, let's review our data sets and the data that is contained within them. In the car distances dataset, each column represents a different color of worker. The values in each column represent the distance measured in miles an employee travels to reach their place of employment. In the bus route distances dataset, there are 3 columns. The first column contains an identifier for each employee in our scenario. The second column contains the distance measured in miles that a particular employee must walk to reach the nearest bus stop. The final column contains the distances measured in miles that each employee will travel on the bus to reach their place of employment. Now, let's go ahead and enter in the equations for our life cycle impact assessment. Now that we have our equations written, we'll go ahead and click Perform to review our results. As we can see here, the cars will spend 1,723 hours per year commuting to and from work, and taking the bus route, the employees would spend 15,590 hours per year. Thank you for watching. This is the end of our 3-part series on how to use the CyCon Life Cycle Assessment tool.